Okay, looks like it's recording. How's it going, my friend?
Good. How are you?
Good. And you are going to be like the first ever episode of this. I don't know how frequently I'm going to do this, but I want to do
Okay.
this as frequently as possible. We're going to call it the Fitness Coaching Show. Why not? Right. And we'll just go through anything, guys. And for those of you that are watching this right here, I want to give you an inside look on the most effective way to do coaching. So the objective here is obviously to give good insight. But more than that, I want to deliver actionable steps. Okay, it's like actionable steps on what you can do as far as walking away with this and being able to know what you want to do or what you have to do tomorrow in order to progress. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Sweet. So let's jump right in, man. Tell me about your goals. Tell me about your struggles, and maybe I can help you out.
Cool. So I've recently stopped going to my personal trainer about 3 weeks ago, and my goal was to get down to around about 80 kgs with a body fat percentage of 10%. So at the end of my 8 weeks with him, I was sitting at 10.8, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm sitting at 83 kgs.
Okay.
So he did say that just dropping those last 3 kgs and getting down at 0.8% is probably the most difficult because I'm getting close to low body fat.
I would agree.
So I've still been sticking to his training regime that he set up for me when I started, which is 3 days a week is doing weight training and then 2 days is doing cardio.
So tell me this. So why did you stop training with your trainer?
Mainly because I've got a few trips coming up this year and it's quite expensive to go to a personal trainer. So it's just a matter of priorities, really.
That makes sense. So right off the bat, what I would say is I would change the 3 days of weight training and 2 days of cardio to 5 days of weight training. So the amount of time you're spending on cardio is not providing additional benefit for you in the fat loss department, like in any way, right? So cardio is a less effective way to burn fat than weight training as long as you're doing weight training at a high intensity.
Cool. Yeah.
You get that? So like for me, for an example, personally, I don't do any cardio. Now I use cardio with my clients quite a bit, but the reason why I do that is because the majority of my clients that are coming in, they're usually people that haven't been working out consistently. So I like to use cardio so we can still do a high workload, but not risk injury. But if you're consistent in your working out, right, and you've been doing this for a while with your trainer and you feel that you're consistent with that, I would immediately move to 5 days a week of weight training.
Okay, cool.
Cool. And what does your diet look like?
It's mostly pretty good.
Tell me.
I try to eat I try to eat as healthy as I possibly can. I'm really into having like salmon and salad. Seems to be my thing for lunch at the moment. Or I have sushi or leftovers from tea, which is normally healthy stuff. So it's going pretty good. I occasionally will lapse, but it's nothing overly bad. Like I might have a muffin or something maybe once or twice a week.
No big deal. So tell me this, do you count calories? Like do you count macros?
No, not at all.
Not at all. So why is that?
Mainly because I've heard it's quite time consuming to worry about all that kind of stuff. And I don't feel that I'm eating so unhealthily that I need to like compensate from one day to the next from what I've eaten the day before.
Perfect. So this is a great example. So as far as building sustainable lifestyle change, I agree 1,000,000%. You don't need to count macros, count calories, right? Like it doesn't have to happen. But if you're trying to reach a certain level of conditioning, and if in your opinion that certain level of conditioning is somewhere that you have never, ever, ever, ever been before, it's good to count macros and count calories in the beginning to learn how your body reacts. So then you have a template and a baseline. So when you want to move away from counting calories and macros for like a seamless lifestyle adjustment, then you can. The issue is that if you're not counting macros and calories from the beginning and you see success, right? And then a couple months go by, you stop working with your trainer, which you are now, and then you don't seek out additional coaching. And then all of a sudden you're not seeing success anymore. And you ask yourself why, you don't have an answer.
Yeah.
Because if you counted calories and macros and you're like, well, I was eating 1,900 calories a day, and then you count calories and macros in your unsuccessful time period and you're like, Well, now I'm eating 2,300. So that's why I'm not losing weight anymore, right? Or that's why I'm gaining weight. But when you don't know that information in the beginning, it becomes really challenging. So my suggestion to everybody is you want to log your information as drastically as possible. Like for me personally, when I did my training, I was logging all of my training, all of my nutrition, my emotions in extreme detail, literally for years. Like I have notebook after notebook of exactly what I was doing. So when I want to go into a time of like super peak performance, right? A time like I'm stressing to try to become an elite top athlete, I just go into those notebooks. I'm like, these are the trends that work. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It sounds pretty intense, but it sounds like it works.
It is. And I gave you that example as being intense. You need to get that intense at all. But what I would say is you should count calories and macros for 2 weeks and get a clear picture of why this has been working for you. So if it breaks and when it breaks, because it breaks to some degree for everybody, you know what you can go back to. Because let me ask you a question and think about this. So you're working out with a trainer that was designing your workouts, and then
Yeah.
you're eating in a way that you're considering healthy, but you don't really know the calorie breakdown. So if you were to explain to me in extreme detail why you've been successful so far, would you be able to do that?
No, probably not. Just,
Right?
I suppose, consistency with trying to be as healthy as possible without overdoing it, and consistently still going to the gym would be the two constants, I suppose.
Perfect. So think about that for a second, right? So I always try to think about it like this. If I was trying to teach this to somebody, would they be able to benefit from what I'm teaching? So you're teaching right now, so consistently eating healthy and then consistently going to the gym. So if you went up to somebody that was struggling and saying like, hey, you should go to the gym and eat healthy, do you think that's going to change their life?
No, probably not.
Probably not, right? You kind of see like where I'm going with this. So the more detail that you can learn about this, and that test is really good. Can you coach somebody, help them be successful through these principles? The more detailed you can be from this, just do it for 3 weeks and try to draw conclusions there. So then when you move forward, you're solid, right?
Yeah.
So let's get back to some actionables here. So you want to drop the last 3 kilograms, right?
Yeah.
So this is exactly what I would do if I were you. I would take 2 weeks to count macros, and I would take 2 weeks to either use a heart rate monitor or use some sort of gauge of intensity of my training. Okay. I would draw a baseline there. I would immediately increase it and take out the cardio and put in weight training for those 2 days. So it's 5 days of weight training at this point. And then I would create that baseline. I would see where I land, and I would draw a conclusion about the relationship between that movement and food. And I think just by making those adjustments, you're going to learn enough that if you're really stuck on these last 3 kilos, that you're just going to be able to drop calories because you know your normal caloric intake now, and you're going to reach that result. I think it's going to be really, really easy for you.
Cool. So, yeah, might give that a try actually.
Yeah, give it a shot, and I want to hear from you. I want you to let me know how it goes. And I just want to touch on one more thing is as you're looking at this, and look, like I train people in person as well. Not anymore actually, but I used to train people in person as well. And this is what I think the big like fundamental disconnect for in-person personal trainers is when you go to the gym, right? You go to the gym with an in-person personal trainer and they give you a good workout. What you're doing is you're paying for something that is one variable out of several, right? And one variable can never create success. So the issue there and the barrier there is that you might be paying to get a good workout, but you're not getting somebody, an individual, company, an entity to oversee the big picture of the relationship between your movement, your food, and your mindset. And when those three aren't connected, like you might not realize, but you probably have a great mindset because you're successful. So whatever is going on with your mindset right now, it's working great. And then you have a loose handle on the nutrition and the movement and you're getting your results, right? So you probably have a great mindset. But the issue that comes in is when you're not having somebody or something oversee the relationship between the three, you can't fix big problems.
Mm.
So that's a big piece. And I know you moved away from your personal trainer. And for anybody that's watching this on YouTube, or wherever we're posting this up, you know, I'm not knocking in-person personal trainers. But what I am saying is that if there's a big fundamental issue, right, of not being able to create results and a lot of failure year after year, it's not about the eating. It's not about the movement. It's not about the mindset. It's about all three in the relationship between those.
Mm.
That makes sense to you as well?
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. There has been a few stories I've heard where people have gone to the gym and there's just this complete disconnect between, because you're there, you're paying their wages kind of thing. So that all they care about is that you come in, they give you your half an hour, and then you go kind of thing.
Yeah, and even if they pour their passion in, like really pour their passion in for everything they have for 1 hour, there's just only so much that they can take care of with only seeing you for an hour 3 times a week or whatever it is, or an hour 4 times a week. That's the problem, right? Because like they just don't know what you do with the rest of your day. Like what about the other 23 hours of the day, right? They only see you for 1. So it's just such a big disconnect. And I see this like day in and day out. Like people go to the gym all the time and just never get results. Actually, the majority of the time, and again, everybody understand that I'm coming from a place of service here, but the majority of the time when you go to the gym, I don't see people that look like they're getting exceptional results, like really, really great results. They look like they've been going there for a while, and I've seen them go there for a while, and they just kind of look the same all the time.
It's like a slow progress for them.
Yeah, or no progress. That's like honestly like what it really is. And a lot of people like think there's progress, like, oh, like this happened and that happened. It's like, well, what happened to you in the past year? Like, is that good enough progress? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've had this conversation with so many people, and it's cool. It's cool when you see people like kind of break out of that and they're like, wow, like I see the difference now. But so that's good. So how do you get the last 3 kilos down? We have your actionable steps. What else? What else are you struggling with?
I'm not too sure really. I suppose just Wednesday was quite a busy day at work because I was covering for someone else. So I did kind of go through a little bit of a mental battle with myself whether I was actually going to go to the gym anyway. Because it was, because I normally go at lunchtime. So I was thinking, well, if I have my lunch, then I at least can only have 15 minutes instead of an hour. But I actually remembered one of your posts. I can't remember exactly the words, but it's kind of like we're in charge of our own progress. So, take control and go with it.
Yeah.
And that actually helped me think, well, screw it, just go. And then it was actually probably one of the best workouts that I've actually had.
That's awesome.
And started going by myself.
That's awesome. And did it negatively affect the other things in your life?
No, not at all. I
not
still
at
got
all,
all
right?
my work done. Yeah, still finished on time. It was fun.
It's awesome, right? It's like you think you're like, there's no way I can get to the gym, but yeah, you just freaking go, right? Just like get it done, and it's not going to negatively affect the other things. Actually, it's always going to have a positive effect. But one thing I'll mention, just like when you feel overwhelmed like that, just plan. Like really write down everything you have to do, and then ask yourself, like, what do I have to get done tomorrow, right? At least plan the day prior to that. What do I have to get done tomorrow? When you really look at it, you're like, you know what? It's just this, this, and this. I can absolutely fit the gym in right here, and then it's done. You know what I mean? And then you fit the gym in, like you said, you didn't have any negative effects. That's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah, it was good.
It's so good. What else? How else can I help you?
I'm not too sure.
What's traveling going to be like for you?
Traveling?
Yeah.
Like, where am I going?
Yeah, I mean, like, so how is that going to work with working out and traveling and all of that?
I'm going to Australia for my cousin's wedding, the beginning of April, for about a week. So that should be fun. So there's going to be a couple of days just traveling around in Sydney. So
cool.
There'll be at least a little bit of kind of physical exercise, I suppose. But yeah, I'm not too sure. And then in June, I'm going over to Japan for a week as well.
Oh, cool. I love Japan. Japan is so cool.
I've been there before.
Yeah. You said you've been there before?
No, have you?
Yes, I have. Yeah. Loved it. I mean, just the culture is so amazing. Like so respectful, and it's just a really nice, calm place to be. It's a lot of fun. And I was just in Australia as well. That's super cool. All right, man. Well, I'm so happy that we could do this. This is a lot of fun. And if you have any other questions, you know how to reach me. I'm here to support you no matter what. I appreciate you for coming on, and we'll talk soon. All right?
Yeah, alrighty.
All right. See you later.
Cool. See ya.
Bye.